welcome back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, consider subscribing as it helps out the channel and it also lets you know when I have a new video out. The goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers, and for those who have recently subscribed, I appreciate your support, and so far it's been real fun doing this and I hope to continue. So previously I'd done top 10 videos for Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry, so now it's time to take a look at my favorite Disney shorts. And unlike the Looney Tunes, I've actually seen all the Disney shorts ever made thanks to the wonderful Disney Treasures releases. And more than ever, I'm thankful that we got these released, because I really don't think in today's environment much of what was contained in those sets would get released. And it's a shame that they stopped making them, but I am thankful for what we got. So this basically means I can make a better list. And for this video, I'm going to take on board some feedback where some wished I would describe the cartoons a little more, especially since some of you may not have actually seen those particular cartoons, so I'll do just that for you. And feedback is always welcome, as I really want to make these videos the best that they can be. So for this one, I'll do my top 10 favorite Disney shorts of the classic era, so from the 1920s to 1960s. So sit back, relax, while we take a look at my top 10 favorite Disney shorts. Number 10, The Cookie Carnival. This short features a parade of various cookies and pastries being judged to see who will be the next cookie queen. A drifter helps out a girl who has nothing to wear for the parade, and she ends up winning, so now they need to find her a king. This one is very much a nostalgic one for me, having seen this one heaps and heaps of times on VHS. As an adult, I love this one. It may not be Disney's finest achievements, but this one always puts a smile on my face, especially those dancing drunken cakes towards the end. Number 9, The Skeleton Dance. Exactly as the name suggests, there is no story here, just a bunch of skeletons dancing about at night amongst other things. This is probably my favourite cartoon of the 1920s overall, and is just so much fun to watch. The animation by Ub Iwerks and music by future Looney Tunes music director Carl Starling melds together so perfectly that it's such a feast for the eyes and ears. I absolutely love this one. Number 8, Toot, Whistle, Plunk, Boom. In Disney's first CinemaScope cartoon, an owl teaches a birdhouse full of students about the history of music. This is another nostalgic favourite that I watched numerous times on VHS. When I saw it in CinemaScope, it was like watching it again for the first time. And yes, the transfer on the Disney Treasures release was done so poorly, but that doesn't change that fact. The wonderful colours and designs make this a joy to watch, even with a few minor problematic ethnic stereotypes, which may prevent this one from being released in HD on Disney+. Number 7, Through the Mirror. A simple little cartoon of Mickey falling asleep and walking through the mirror to a land of opposites, inspired by the book Through the Looking Glass. This one, along with his section in Fantasia, are my favourite solo Mickey efforts. There are quite a few I like, but here is just a fun little romp with some great gags and fantastic animation that shows why Disney were considered to be the best in the 1930s. Number 6, Clock Cleaners. As the name suggests, Mickey, Donald and Goofy are clock cleaners, cleaning up a massive clock. I love just about all the cartoons with the three paired together, and it was actually tough to pick a favourite out of them, but I have to go with this one. It's such a funny cartoon with great gags, including one of my favourites involving Goofy being hit on the head and walking around in a daze. It's one that I always revisit. Number 5, Early to Bed. It's a simple story. Donald goes to bed but can't sleep due to all the distractions around him. This one shows just how great Disney were even with the simplest of stories. This one also happens to be very relatable for me, easily waking up if I hear a nearby clock ticking and all that. I just happen to find this one really funny and it has some great animation in it. Highly recommended. Number 4. Symphony Hour. New conductor Mickey is to conduct an orchestra as part of a radio program, but Goofy ruins all the instruments, causing the song being played to sound very, well, interesting. Probably the best example of just how good the Foley department was at Disney. The sounds that come out of the ruined instruments are some of the funniest I have heard and are so perfect. The gags and the animation are also top notch, and hey, it features Mickey pulling a gun on Donald, so what's not to like? Number 3. Goofy Gymnastics. In this one, Goofy redeems a coupon for a home gym set and tries to follow the instructions with hilarious results. I had to try really hard to not have this list filled with only 1940s Goofy shorts, as they are my favourites. I actually discovered this short first in Who Framed Roger Rabbit of all places, where they play a clip at the end, but I was in stitches when I saw the whole short. I know I keep complimenting the animation in all of these, but even in these more so-called simpler cartoon shorts, the animation is just top notch. Number 2. Der Fuehrer's Face. Here we see Donald and his daily life living in a land that is run by the Axis powers in this World War II short. Well, I don't think we'll see this one on Disney Plus anytime soon. This is one of the funniest and craziest Disney shorts ever made. It's definitely one that is geared more to adults who can appreciate jokes like working 28 hours a day for the Fuehrer while also doing overtime. It's such a funny short and highly recommended, and it's also a perfect time capsule of propaganda shorts done in the 1940s.
More shells. If one little shell should blow him right through, he'd howl, and wouldn't that be swell?
Now before we get to number 1, here are a few runner-ups that didn't quite make the cut, but I do love heaps. So here we go. First one, Susie the Little Blue Coop. Gulliver Mickey. Father's Day Off.
Just straighten things up a bit. Housework is hard work, she said. Oh.
Father's Weekend, which I'm sure you're sensing a theme here. Mickey's Trailer. Donald's Off Day. Now there are many more I could have put on here, but this video would last forever, so without further ado, let's check out what my first choice is. Now it should become as no surprise that it's going to be a Goofy short, but let's see if you can guess before we reach up to it in the credits. So we know it's a Goofy, it's a Jack Kinney one, so it's later 40s, and yep, Hockey Homicide. Here we see an extremely exaggerated rendition of an ice hockey game, or an accurate one, depending on your point of view. This is probably the wildest thing Disney has ever made, and is the funniest of the Goofy playing sport subgenre that they did in the 1940s. The gags are so wild that they reuse animation from other shorts, and it works so well. I don't normally turn to Disney for belly laughs, but this one does it for me every single time. So those were my favourites. Were there any surprises for you? I'd really like to know your top 10, so let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know what other top 10 videos you would like me to do. I mean, I can do things like top 10 specific characters like Mickey or Goofy, or even directors like a top 10 Chuck Jones or Tex Avery, or even top best of a decade. Sky's the limit, really. So definitely let me know what you would like to see, and who knows, I may just make that. So that'll be it for this video. As I mentioned before, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so, as it really does help out the channel as we try and reach that 1,000 subscriber goal. But until then, have a good one.